He played every single minute of Game 7. But you got to hold this L, Kevin. Hey, I, la 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 la. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You got to hold this L, Kevin. Welcome to another episode of the Goo Intelligence Sports Podcast Show. So today, I'm going to be talking about basketball that's been going on the last 2 weeks. We're going to discuss Ben Simmons and the Philadelphia 76ers losing to the Atlanta Hawks in 7. We're going to discuss KD losing in 7 to the Milwaukee Bucks. But first thing I need you to do is like this video. It helps grow the channel in the YouTube algorithm. Also subscribe if this is your first time watching me on this particular platform. First on the list is Ben Simmons. I got some stuff right here, and I want to go into Ben Simmons about man. I'm from Louisiana, right? I stay probably about 25 miles from LSU. I live in a suburb of Baton Rouge called Denham Springs. I've been living in Baton Rouge for the past 9 years. So I was here when Ben Simmons came on the scene. 2015, 2016, because that's the only year he played at LSU. After coming over from Montverde Academy in Florida. And coming over, of course, from Australia, where he's originally from. I got some numbers here, and I got a backstory on Ben Simmons because it was quiet, but a lot of media was hovering on it or talking about it during his draft when he was up for the NBA draft, talking about his character issues and his attitude. And it was kind of swept under the rug by Coach Brown at the time. I believe he was the coach. Brett Brown was the coach at Philadelphia during their draft period in the process, as Joel Embiid would refer to it. So I want to take everybody back down the trip on memory lane. And what we found, or what I found to be quite ironic, is the fact that Ben Simmons is lazy. I'm just going to say lazy. He refuses to work on his jump shot. He refuses to work on his free throws. And his character issues about attitude and whatnot were rightfully questioned during his draft process. But they wouldn't listen. Let's go to LSU 2015-2016 season. The LSU Tigers were ranked in the top 25 of the AP preseason poll when Ben Simmons arrived with Antonio Blakeney, and Craig Victor II. They were supposedly one of the favorite teams to campaign for SEC title that particular year and possibly take down Kentucky. Well, the LSU Tigers, while they started the season off hot, and they did get a victory against Kentucky in the regular season, but they were also wildly underachieving, if I can use that. Yeah, they were very underachieving. They finished with a total record or overall record of 19-14, with a SEC conference record of 11-7, losing the last game in the SEC tournament to Texas A&M by the score of 71-38. I'm going to say that again. Ben Simmons' last game as an LSU Tiger was a loss to Texas A&M by the score of 71-38. Now, what happened in that particular SEC tournament? Kentucky won, of course. They still finished at the top with an overall record of 27-9 and a SEC conference record of 13-5. Texas A&M finished 28-9 that year with a conference record of 13-5. LSU did not make the NCAA tournament. that year, which Ben Simmons made a historic. He made history that particular year by being the first pick overall in the NBA draft, having not made a NCAA tournament. He only played one season. If people can remember, there was a story that broke that while LSU did not make the NCAA tournament, they were invited to the NIT tournament. And they declined to go because Ben Simmons told them he would not play in it. This is all on Google, folks. If you want to look it up, go ahead and fact check me. Google it. Ben Simmons told LSU he would not play in the NIT tournament. He felt as though it was beneath him. And he just wanted to focus on the NBA draft. Now, what brings me into saying that Ben Simmons is lazy? Ben Simmons also flunked out of LSU. He went to class for the fall, basically because he had to put some type of GPA in the system to be eligible to play basketball. He withdrew from school in January. I'm going to say it again. He withdrew from school, not in January, I'm sorry, in the spring semester. When basketball season was completed, he withdrew from school. Most people, they continue to go to school, but they'll start working out for their particular draft, whether it be football or basketball or baseball or whatever. Baseball, you come straight out of high school, but in the NBA, you had to do one season of college basketball to be eligible to be drafted. Ben Simmons did that requirement, then withdrew from school, told LSU he would not play in the NIT tournament, then made a Netflix show about it. Let that sink in. And this is the person you put a max contract into, the person you put confidence into your team to win a championship. He's not dedicated. He refuses to work on his jump shot. Ben Simmons, offensively, is the same player he was at LSU. Defensively, he's on an all-NBA defense team. He's an all-star. But you can't play him in the last 3 minutes of the game because the teams will foul him and put him on the foul line. And it has gotten into his head. He passed up on wide open dunks and layups because he looked terrified of going to the free throw line. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Simmons at the free throw line in this series with the in the playoffs. I'm going to use the playoffs because if I use the Atlanta Hawks series, you might say I'm hating. But the entirety of the playoffs, Ben Simmons is 25 for 73. This is a player that you owe 30 some odd million dollars to. He is 25 of 73 from the free throw line for a grand total of 34%. So basically, out of every 10 free throws, he makes 3 of them. That is pathetic to say that is your number one guard. He's at the one position. He's a point guard. Assists, dishing out, creating shots, he can do that. He can do that for you. But so can other people on the team. When you need him to be aggressive and depend on him to get offensive baskets, you cannot do that. It's crazy. The LSU team wildly underachieved. Quiet is Cap. I mean, it's not quiet, but he is the only drafted player from that LSU team. Antonio Blakeney, undrafted. Craig Victor, undrafted. Tim Quarterman, undrafted. Ben Simmons, number 1 draft pick. Can't make a free throw. If I could challenge Ben Simmons to a free throw contest, I guarantee I'll win. I can shoot better free throws. Here's the thing about free throws. They're supposed to be easy. Let me say that again. Free throws are supposed to be easy. It's an uncontested shot at the basket. It's a free throw. And you can't make them? They pay you $30 million a year and you can't make free throws? As a guard? It's pathetic, man. It's pathetic. Philadelphia is going to have to trade Ben Simmons. There's no way around it. And to think they had the opportunity to trade Ben Simmons for James Harden, who regular season, James Harden is the man. Postseason, he's pathetic. Now, granted, this year I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and say he was injured. James Harden was out there in the Brooklyn and Bucks series moving like Fred Sanford. He was moving like a snail. There was a couple fast break opportunities, and James would pull back and I don't know if his hamstring or what it was like, hold on, player. You know we can't be out here doing this. He would slow the ball down and just dribble at the top of the key and wait for KD to come over and call for the ball. That was the game plan for James. James was a shell of himself. So I'm going to give him benefit of the doubt. This particular playoff series. But in the past, in the playoffs, James has showed that he can't get it done. Which leads me to my next subject. Kevin, MF, and Durant. Kevin is amazing. Amazing. Kevin put on a historic performance in Game 5 to get Brooklyn the win. I think it was something like 48, 17, and 10. Something crazy. Hitting jumpers, doing whatever he wanted to do. Kevin Durant is amazing. The best, like he's really unguardable when you let him play one-on-one. You don't send him no double teams or trap or try to get the ball out your hands. God bless you. But he got to hold his L. I'm going to say it again. Kevin Durant is amazing. But he got to hold his L. Look, you know all the slander, all the hate, all the ridicule, all the mean things in the world that was said about LeBron James when he had 51 points, 8 rebounds, and 8 assists, but lost in the NBA Finals to Golden State and Kevin Durant with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Draymond Green? Do you understand? With JR absolutely being on Pluto in the last seconds of the game, and you know how much slander and hate LeBron got? Kevin Durant has to get the same amount of treatment. He has to get the same disregard, the same disdain, the same everything. All the hate and mean stuff in the world that was said about LeBron James has to be said about Kevin Durant not leading his team. And I'm not going to hold no concessions over Kevin Durant's head. I don't want to hear he got tired. I don't want to hear he didn't have no help because Blake Griffin was out there. Jeff Green gave him 27 points in Game 5, and Steve Nash played the man only 13 minutes in Game 7. What are you doing? The Brooklyn bench attempted 0 shots in the fourth quarter against the Bucks. The only person to score in overtime of the Bucks game in Game 7 was Brown. It wasn't Durant. Durant hit the shot to get him to overtime and then went 0 for 6 in overtime. Airballing the last shot because probably his legs were like jello. He played 53 minutes. He played every single minute. You mean to tell me Landry Shamet can't give the man a blow? Mike James can't come in? You can't play DeAndre Jordan 20 seconds? You can't play Claxton? What are you doing? The man played every minute of Game 5. The man played 43 minutes of Game 6, and he played every single minute of Game 7. But you got to hold this L, Kevin. Hey, I I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. You got to hold this L, Kevin. Come back next year. Try again, mother sucker. It's just as simple as that, people. I'm not here for the Kevin Durant. I'm not here for the excuses. I don't want to hear it. If we're going to hold these superstars to the standards of one LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Kevin Durant got to be held to those same standards, and I don't want to hear the shut up. Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Moving along. I want to get something off my chest about Zion Williamson because I feel disrespected being a New Orleanian, and I keep hearing this shit about New Orleans is a small market. New Orleans may be a small town. Don't get me wrong. It may be a small town. But small market, media, Zion's family is unhappy. Zion is in his what? Second season in the NBA? And excuse me, but name one time Zion came into training camp in shape. How long or how soon did Zion think he was going to win a championship? He's only in his second season, and you can't make him happy. You want to leave already? New Orleans is too small. It's a small market town. Correct me if I'm wrong, but if New Orleans is a small market, and this may not be just the NBA, but why does the NFL have the most Super Bowls in this particular city? It's a small market, right? Why does the NFL, if the NFL could hold the Super Bowl in Miami and New Orleans every year, they would. But New Orleans is a small town, small city. If it's such a small market, why does everybody want to come here and vacation? And after their vacation, they usually end up moving here and then trying to change the culture, gentrification. But that's neither here nor there. That's a discussion for another day. But it's such a small town, right? Let me get this straight. So you say the ownership with the Pelicans, I call them the Pelicans, but that's just me. You can't call them that. The Pelicans, the ownership, they don't care about what's going on with the Pelicans. They're more into the Saints. That's the narrative and the argument being painted by the media right now. This small market media stuff is really, this is not the 50s and 60s, people. People are not just joining around the radio to watch, or listen to sports events anymore. They can see them on television. You can watch them on any app. You can Twitter and Facebook and Instagram. Social media has made small market media obsolete and irrelevant. Zion's family just needs to be quiet and let their breadwinner, Zion, play ball. And he's a big boy. He's a grown man now. This is not AAU. This ain't Duke. It ain't his high school team. This ain't the rec center where you can push your weight around. Zion's not the only professional on the team. He's not the only good player on the team. Get out of the way, chill out, and let Zion find his way in the NBA. And hopefully, this year coming up, Zion will show up to camp in shape, ready to play. Just lay off the criticism of New Orleans in these small markets, because New Orleans has the most Super Bowls held in an NFL stadium than any rest of the NFL. And for being such a small market, as you say, I think that's a pretty good job. This was another episode of the Goon Intelligence Sports Podcast Show. I thank you for your time. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you shared it with me, and I appreciate you for that. Remember to like the video, share the video, and help grow the channel. I have a lot more in store. Some debate topics coming up shortly with some different guests. So you just won't be seeing me anymore. You'll actually be seeing me interact with some different people that have different sports opinions than I do. But until then, I thank y'all. And until next time,